Hey guys, Zeph here, and today we're going to start our brand new video series called Cube World Tutorials, where we're going to go ahead and kind of give you guys a crash course in how to do everything and anything in the world of Cube. So we're going to start off by talking about the user interface right now. So in order to do that first, we got to go ahead and create a character. So when you first start your game, of course, go into the options and change things as you need to, but then go to Start Game. Once you go to Start Game, you can go ahead and actually create your actual character. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and delete this character. And we're going to go ahead and start and create a new character. So once you create your new character, this is how we start off. You go ahead and start off with a blank slate. Right now, you got the original character right here. You can go to modify him any way you see. You can go ahead and choose his race from a human, elf, dwarf, orc, goblin, lizard, or undead, or frogman. Right here, you can also choose the actual gender of the human, elf, dwarf, orc, goblin, lizard, undead, or frogman, or frogwoman in that case. You can also go ahead and choose the classes of said races and gender as well. So basically when it comes down to it, what you choose is highly dependent on what weapon you actually start off with. But just because you see the weapon here does not necessarily mean you are forced to start off with that particular weapon. But those are basically the, we'll say, the basis of the weapons that you will choose. We'll get into that in a couple of minutes here. After that, you can go ahead now and choose which face that you want. So for the humans, you actually have basically 6 faces. 3 faces with light color skin with different eyes, and then dark color skin with different eyes as well. With different races, it's different things. So I think this is the only race that has a change of hue when it comes down to skin. Then you also have haircuts. You can go ahead and modify your hair to anything that you see fit. For some reason, the human males actually have more hair than anyone else. Go figure. And then right here, you can go ahead and modify the color to the hair that you see fit. Okay? So we're going to actually do some videos with Mr. Zack the Ranger. So with Zack the Ranger, we're going to go ahead and start off with him. However, because I actually have a Zack the Ranger already in place, I'm just going to call this guy Zack 2. But for now on, every other video, we'll be showing off Zack the Ranger. So we're going to go ahead and create our character. And we're going to start in this selected world since I already have a world set up. Now, if you need to select, if you don't have a world set up, you can go down here to where it says New World, Create New World. And then you'll be able to go ahead and create your new world. Now, in order to go ahead and do it, you have to go ahead and start off with a seed, which is basically a random number. It can be something big like this, or something small like this. After that, type in the name of your world. After that, you can go ahead and click on Create World. And that's how you create your own world. But because we already have a world set up, we're just going to go ahead and click on Select to go ahead and start a new world. Now, as I stated before that, all my other videos will star Zack the Ranger. However, because of the fact that this particular tutorial, we're going to show you how to go ahead and handle things from the very beginning. Once you go ahead and jump into the world, we're going to go ahead and choose this little character here. But don't worry, we'll delete him very soon. So let's go ahead and give it a second here. Once the game loads up, there you go. So let's go ahead over the user interface right now. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner, that is your name, your level, your class, your hit points, your experience points, and of course in the far left-hand corner is your actual face for your character. Now, if you look on the right corner here, that is the time, the temperature of your actual computer, and the humidity of as well. I believe that's what it is. You also have a compass in the far right, and right there you also have a map, a 3D representation map of the actual world that you're living in and where you currently are right now. In the bottom left-hand corner, you also have your status. Basically, if you pick up anything, or if you get something, experience points, items, anything like that, or even chat, it shows up right there. In the bottom center, you have your hit points bar, your magic points bar, which we'll get into in a minute once again. Your first attack, second attack, 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of what you can do in terms of abilities. And then you have your Q, which stands for quick. So that's where you go ahead and put your quick items at. Your abilities are 1, 2, 3, 4, which we'll get into in the fighting or level up tutorial. And the first two, which is M1 and M2, is basically your attacks, which once again we'll get into in the battle tutorial. Now, with that being said, if you go ahead and hit escape, you'll go ahead and notice that you have a couple of icons here. Now, you can access these icons by doing two things. Number one, hitting the actual icons by hitting escape and going and clicking on them. Hitting escape will make them disappear. Hitting escape again will make them reappear. Or you can go ahead and hit the corresponding legend or key right below the actual icons. For example, this one will be F1. So we can go ahead and click on this one or hit F1, and this is actually a legend or a key for itself to go ahead and show you everything and anything you can do within the game. Now, as you see right there, you have your first attack, which is M1 or the mouse key. Your second attack would be M2 or the right mouse key, which you can't do right now, but we'll get into that in the battle tutorial. Or M3, which is the middle mouse button, which allows you to go ahead and dodge. Once again, we'll get into that in the battle tutorial. You also have E for pickup, R for interact. The abilities, as I stated before, is 1, 2, 3, 4. The WASD keys are to move up, down, left, and right. And if you want to go ahead and get your light source, if you look at the character, hit F, and he'll get a lamp. We'll go into that later on, but that's how you go into dark places. Special item, haven't really gotten to that yet. I'm not sure what that is yet, but no worry, we'll get that. And of course, T called pet. Once you go ahead and get a pet, we'll go into that in the actual pet tutorial as well. And of course, you have other things such as holding shift will give you free aim, where you can go ahead and turn any way you want. If you don't hold shift, you'll actually attack in the direction of the actual camera. You can go ahead and hold. You can go ahead and hold control when you're walking forward, and you can actually climb up stuff. And of course, spacebar jumps. And of course, to go ahead and chat would be hit the enter button and chat. Now, to get rid of whatever item thing that you have above there, hit the same key. In this case, it'll be F1. Now, first key we're going to go over is, in fact, the X key, which brings up your skills key. Now, in the particular Cube world, you can go ahead and choose between different specializations, we'll call them. Now, you have your class Rogue, but you can become an assassin here in the world of Cube, or you become a ninja. I, of course, chose ninja. Now, with that being said, later on, once you go ahead and level up, you can go ahead and add points here and become stronger. We'll get into that more in the level up tutorial. The second one is crafting. Once again, we'll get more into this in the crafting tutorial, but this is where you can go ahead and craft a whole bunch of items of your choice. The corresponding one, letter to go ahead and open this up is C. So you can go ahead and craft whatever you want. Unfortunately, we don't have nothing to craft right now, but don't worry about that. We'll get into that more in the crafting tutorial. B is backpack. This is where you can go ahead and get all stuff in your backpack, but not only that, but you can go ahead and wield weapons too. Now, just to let you know, when you're starting your brand new character, this is where you can actually go ahead and get different weapons. For example, right now you'll see that the weapons you have currently equipped is an iron dagger +1 and another iron dagger +1, as well as silver rings a silver ring and a gold ring, and of course a light source. That's kind of all you have in terms of armor and weapons. However, when you first start off the game, you can actually get other items. You already currently have other items as well. So, once you start off the game, you may want to hit B to go ahead and find out what you can actually do. So, you can go ahead and take the iron sword and wield it. And before I do that, let me go ahead and close B and show you what the attacks look like. So, this is how the attacks look when you only have 2 iron daggers, which basically is dual wielding, 2 daggers. We've seen that before. Or we can go ahead and wield something else here. And now we have a sword now. So they can go ahead and use swords. Now, with that being said, let's go back here, and we can also get other items as well. I also want you to notice that as we go ahead and change our actual equipment, right here, M1 and M2, which is mouse 1 and mouse 2, change. So I'm going to go ahead and put the fist down here. And now we are martial artists. So now they're actually doing punches here. And there you go. So, also if you go ahead and bring up the same button, you can go ahead and click on here. This one is actually equipment. The second one is actually items, where you have all your items. that's not equipment, and it's not crafting or anything like that. The third one is actual your ingredients for crafting. So you can go ahead and see all the ingredients that you want for crafting. For example, I believe I saw a cotton plant here. So if I take the cotton plant, and I pick it up using the E key, there you go. See, I got 3 things of cotton capsules right here in front of me. Now, fourth is actual pets. We don't have no pets right now, but we'll get into that in the pet tutorial. With items, we'll go ahead and cover items more so in the actual crafting tutorial. Now, next one is actually M. M is your map. This will give you everything and anything of the world that you actually see. When you're in the world, this is what you've actually explored and whatever. This is what you're going to see all that by hitting the M key. Now, I've actually explored this world quite often when it comes to my other characters here. And this is actually a brand new world I created. So right there is Damamor City right there. So I can go ahead and visit Damamor City, but we'll get into that in the town tutorial. Last but not least is the O, which is options. So you can go ahead and go back to the start menu, exit game, or go ahead and go to options. So that's actually pretty much it now for basically the basic tutorials. This will give you everything and anything that you need to know in terms of movement, in terms of how to attack, and to go ahead and actually navigate the actual menu bars. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and subscribe definitely if you want to see more tutorials. Or follow the link below to go ahead to the actual playlist where we'll go ahead and show you all the tutorials that we currently have based on this game. You guys have a good night.